John Davis, absolutely one of the best.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis doing what true crimers do.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis.
John Davis True Crime.
Mr. John Davis. John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime.
This guy John Davis.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime. Maybe that's where I've heard that name before.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis, and it's good to see you, John. How are you?
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True.
Hey, John Davis.
John Davis.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime kicks butt.
Tune in and watch John Davis True Crime. You will love it. It's one of the best channels on YouTube. Tune in. It's John Davis True Crime.
Good morning. I feel like it's later now since I'm 30 minutes past. Still very early. We have Suzette's weekend. Let's just say it got more exciting since last time we spoke to her. And we're going to bring her up and let her tell us her full experience on Summer's Day. What she seen, what she saw, what she thought. As much as she wants to share, you know, whatever she feels comfortable with, we're going to talk about it. She got all kinds of video pictures. I got some pictures I can show you. But she had an interesting time. There's the link, Suzette. Grab it. I could have labeled this breaking news because this is. Nobody's heard this before. We'll see. She had an interesting weekend, to say the least, though. I don't know what she wants to share, what she's going to feel comfortable with. We'll see. We'll see. But she experienced a lot. Let me show some of her pictures while we're waiting. Is that you?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
You changed your icon.
I did.
I thought we was going to get an impersonator.
No, I changed it back.
How you feeling? You wore out?
Yeah, I'm very tired. It was a long trip. That's for sure. A lot of driving. That's mainly what I did was drive. So yeah, I'm pretty tired. How's everybody doing? You'll have to read chat if people have questions, John, because I can't see chat. And your I can't never see chat on your
well, turn on another device and just turn it down. Watch it on something.
Yeah, I guess I can turn it on the TV and see if I can see it. You know, I'm blind.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Adapt. I don't know what to tell you, man. This is your problem, not mine.
You're absolutely right, as usual.
So,
how's everybody else's weekend been? Mine has been a long. I was honored to go to Summer's Day. I'll say that. Now that was an honor. It was very hot. They did a very nice job with it. The ladies that put it together, they do good. they have put out a lot of information for missing children, exploited children. They put video together, you know, for information and stuff, and they had beautiful tables, which you have the pictures. Oh, they just had it. Really, my pictures. I suck at taking pictures. Look, you can see my finger up there, but the pictures don't do it justice. It's justice. It's really. It was really pretty, and it was pretty emotional. It was very hot. Um, uh, uh, which that's fine. It's the middle of the summer, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing, and they have the ribbons were for summer was the purple ribbons. The blue ribbons were for Michael Vaughn. The green ribbons were for Sebastian, and the yellow ribbons were for Rose Bly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Is that what this is here?
Yes, that's your ribbons, and you've got your purple for Summer, your blue for Michael, your green for Sebastian, and your yellow for Rose. And the album you see there, that's the album that they put together of the Wells family. That's all their family pictures in there and stuff. Mostly of, you know, Summer when she was just from the time she was born up until, you know, the time she went missing and stuff.
That's nice.
The ladies do it's Nana for Life. It's Chroma Mama, Gavel Geeks, Chasen, who wasn't there. Chasen has a big part of it, but her daughter had got attacked by a dog. She wasn't able to come.
Well, that's awful. I hadn't known about that.
Yeah, I think she's a dog walker. She was walking a dog. Anyway, she got attacked by a dog. I don't know if I don't know the full story. I don't know if she got in between the dogs or if the dog, but anyways, she wasn't able to go. And Whistle While You Lurk, which I had never heard of that channel. She's a clip channel. She was there. Trevor Lee was there. It was this is the first year I've been, and I believe this was the first year that Don and Candace had ever been.
Now, where was this at exactly?
This is at Warriors Park at Pier at the number 5 area, picnic area, number 5. This is the swimming hole. Now, I believe it might be up a little bit from the day that Summer went swimming. This is the path down to the swimming hole. Very grown up, very, I don't know, looks snaky to me, you know. So there was a few people out there fishing. That was one of the lady one of the ladies I was with down there, but there was a few out there fishing. I didn't get pictures of them. I try not to get pictures of anybody that wasn't with our group. And so this is the swimming hole. We spent a good minute there at the swimming hole. Now I didn't get pictures of the horse stables that got burnt. Somebody took those and that was in my group and was supposed to send them to me. I just haven't gotten them yet. But
Okay.
they have some good pictures of actually the back of the horse stables too. You know.
What are we looking at here?
I think that's still part of the swimming hole.
Is that like the trail down to it?
No, this is right here to the far left. That's the trail that goes on around. Like you got this trail, and then off to the right, it just veers off to the right here. Before you get to the water, and that trail just goes on and on and on. And it just walks up beside the lake there.
Yeah.
It go on forever. I don't know how long it goes on. I walked down it a little bit, but it's a lot of drop offs. You have to be real careful. You'll go straight down in the water, we slid off in that water. It was very muddy. Now I don't know if it was that muddy the day she went swimming, but it was pretty muddy. You couldn't see the bottom the day I was there.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to say about that is, they said that that's where summer like to go swimming and stuff, but to me, kids will go swimming anywhere. 5-year-olds decided to go swimming wherever. I just think there were nicer spots. I've seen nicer spots that you could have went swimming at in town closer to the house.
Somebody told me there's a beach like right down from there.
Now I don't know about that. And there's a lake like over in Warriors Park. There's a lake over there that people were, they were out there. Now they say. Now I don't understand this. I've never heard of this. They say if you get in the middle of that lake over at Warriors, that it will electrocute you. Have you ever heard that?
No.
I've never heard of that. I was like, huh?
Why would it electrocute you?
And like I said, I've never heard of that. And I didn't investigate that any further. I just was like, oh, okay.
That's wild. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I had never heard that either. So I was like, okay. But there we go. I got you. So all of this is the swimming hole.
Yeah.
Now I'm country. I'm country, and I can see maybe some teenagers wander off down there, and they might jump. Now, when I was younger, that was a fishing hole. Places like this were fishing holes, and my mama might have let me put my little feet right on the edge of that. But that'd have been it. My mama would not have let me, barrel off in something like that. I would have been able to get my feet wet just because it was hot, and that would have been it. And like I said, there were nicer places in the area, close to Hunters, close to the hospital, that you could have. I've seen them, but you could have went swimming. So I don't know why there. Other than I was told that was.
How secluded is it?
It's pretty secluded. Yeah, I mean, unless there's a bunch of people, and there was no one. There was one vehicle parked there when we got there, and that was one single person down there fishing. And like I said, fishing. So that tells me there's hooks and lines and stuff like that out there in that water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a fishing hole.
Well,
there was boats out, but you're in a boat. There was boats out there, further out, going up and down, but you're in a boat.
So that's it, though, right? That's the path to where they were.
There. Right there. Yes. Right there.
I think you choose that spot because it's secluded. That's the only thing I could see for going there.
And you can actually go up that trail, there to the right, and then that trail actually. There's some other just smaller, beat down little places where you can actually go up, like up this, up further onto that mountain,
Right.
And so it's snaky. That's what I was looking out for. looking for snakes. I didn't care about a bear. I didn't care about a mosquito. I was worried about a snake.
Yeah, water attracts snakes and everything. It attracts wildlife, really.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'd rather seen a bear than a water mouse.
Me too.
Yeah, it's very great. It's a lot of vegetation. And I looked when I wasn't really thinking when I was there, but I've looked at all these pictures that I took because I try and my video too. I don't see any flowers anywhere. I don't see any cactuses anywhere. I didn't see any of that in my pictures. You know what I mean?
That's a good observation. No flowers to be down there talking about?
No.
Interesting.
None that I've seen, and like I said, I took a lot of pictures, and when I did think about it, I mean, there's a lot of things when you're in the moment. It's hard to think of everything, but I went back through all these, and I just haven't. I haven't seen a cactus, and I haven't seen a flower. And then one of the ladies that I was up there with, she went up that mountain of good ways, and she said she seen one flower, one daisy, and it was way up on that mountain.
Right.
And it was a single flower, like just growing odd.
Did you see any? Did you see any signs where it looks like maybe people go there to do illegal activity?
It was a little bit of trash. I didn't see.
Wasn't like stranger things.
Well, I didn't see like beer cans and stuff like that. I mean, you see your normal trash that you'd expect to see out somewhere like that. I didn't see any. I didn't see any large amounts of anything where somebody had gathered up and had a little party or nothing like that. I didn't see that.
It's an interesting spot to pick to go swimming with.
Especially considering I've seen several other spots coming through Kingsport that was very nice that you could have went swimming at. But I kept getting told that that was Summer's favorite spot. But I'm telling you, you tell a 5-year-old we're going swimming, they don't care where they go swimming at. But I was told she liked to go there because that's where the horse stables were, and she liked to look at the horses. And I guess I get that, but I don't think she's seen the horses that day. So I mean,
Well, I mean, I just to me that spot don't scream. I want to take my kids swimming is the mission.
No. If I'm thinking, hey, I want to take my kids swimming for a little while I'm waiting on medicine for 15 or 20 minutes, whatever, I would have picked a better spot. It was like I said, and I've seen other spots that you could have just, went swimming in that was closer to town. There was a spot about a mile from Hunter's house that was running clear water that was pretty, that I'd have got in. I was ready to get. It was hot. I was like, I'll get in that,
Yeah.
Like, and I'm country, I'm not picky. But I'm telling you, something like that when we was growing up, you could have put your feet on the edge of that to cool off. That's it. You wouldn't go.
Would you have got in there?
No, certainly I would not have got in there without being able to see that bottom.
And now, to me, what the most worrisome is she's in there by herself. There's no way I could have done that. I would have been scared to death.
And like I said, I think some of the pictures, John, is it doesn't look higher than what it was the day she did go swimming. I think it's you know, and I'm throwing it out there because
You're breaking up bad.
to me. Oh, can you hear me now? I got away from
That's
the
better.
phone a little bit. I mean, y'all have pictures of it, like of the day she actually went missing, and I really think it was higher the day I was there. It looks up, so it might be a little bit muddier right there, the first 10 feet or so out, because of it being high up, you know. Because wasn't the water down like that picture you got right up here? Wasn't the water down there, that tree right there? I can't remember.
I ain't sure. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
remember.
not sure. But I wouldn't have went swimming in it, no. And like I said, by the time we left, there was 3 people just fishing. They were fishing up in that tree right there. That's fishing. That's where your fish bed up and stuff like that. So I would have picked a different spot, and it was hot. It was hot when I was there. Good Lord. I'm burning up. And the horse stable. So the first day we were there, so I arrived on Thursday evening, and we stayed in Newport, so we were an hour away. So we didn't do anything the first day. The second day that we were there, I had seen where Miss Choi was going to do her little her flyer event in Rogersville at the park there at one of the. And so we decided we would ride out to Rogersville and get flyers and, go to that for a little bit. So while we were in Rogersville, I wanted to go to Ben Hill to take, I wanted to get a ton of pictures from out there. I wanted to get a picture of the bench and, that dedication that they had done this summer, as far as the bench. I wanted to get as many pictures as I could of everything around that area just to see the conditions of this time of year. I wanted to see the creek. I wanted, that is not a creek, people. That is like a little brook. And that child would have been able to do, and that creek is splashed around. It's hardly no water in there at all. Let's put it that way.
See, I always thought the creek's more of like a little brook, ain't it?
Yep, that's it. That's all it is. It's a little brook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know why you would call it a creek unless that's just, it's easier to say it's a creek than a brook. Maybe a little more popular word than brook.
Right.
So, after we did the Miss Chewy thing, which we didn't stay till they were standing out holding flyers up. Now, I would like to give a shout out to 2 ladies that you're not going to know, and their name is Tammy and Peggy. And what they do is when they travel, they go to these events, they get flyers for missing children. They keep flyers on the back of their vehicles for missing children, and they they just put flyers out everywhere they go, and they also do searches for missing children.
Oh, that's great.
They're not YouTube. Yeah, they're not YouTubers. They're just 2 ladies that are out there doing good for the missing children.
That's awesome.
So if you ever see this, Miss Tammy and Miss Peggy, shout out to you. That's awesome.
Yes.
So when we left Rogersville, and I wanted to get out to Beach Creek. Now, one of the people that I was with, they did talk to Don and Candace. They talked to Candace, and So while I was taking my pictures and doing my thing at the bottom, she had decided that she would go up and talk to Candace. And of course, I had no intentions of going up there. You know, I was told that Dawn was at work and that Candace would probably just come down to the bottom and meet us at the bottom. You know, sit on the bench, talk. You know, fine with that. But we actually, once she got up there, we actually got invited up there, and the lady I was with told them, well, I know one will come up, but the other one probably won't, which was me, you know, because she knew I really didn't have any desire to go up there. But anyways, long story short, Dawn came down, introduced herself, and offered to take us back up and visit, and so we did. And so, you know, it just caught me off guard. That's at the very bottom of the hill. That's the bench. The flyers there for taking, you know, and stuff. That's my big old fat tail sitting there on the bench.
Was the unicorn there when you got there? Did somebody leave that for summer?
Yeah. That was all there when we got there. Everything on the bench was there when we got there.
That's cool.
And the bench is very you can tell where they you know, they made an area for it. It's cemented in, which I'm so glad, so nobody can come by and take it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it was Chillbilly, I want to say, and somebody you know, put the bench there, installed it for them, you know, made sure it was cemented in. So that was before I got taken up to the top, and we got up there, and everybody was just
Hold on,
taking it.
whoa. Hey. What happened now? You were down at the bench, and what happened?
Dawn arrived to take us up the hill. I'm in a little car. I wasn't taking mine up there no way, but I didn't have any intentions of going up there. Like, I was there to just get pictures of this in the area.
Right. So D-Dub rolls up and he's like, hey, Suzette, hop in.
Well, he's like, hey, ladies, because there was two of us, and he's like, y'all come on, you know. And so it's a funny story. I'll tell it. So he's in some sort of little burnt SUV vehicle, and there's no back seat. So there's the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And me and the other lady, we're about the same size. And she's like, well, Suzette, just get on my lap. And I'm like, wow, I haven't done this since I was a teenager. So I'm just kind of like trying to get in the vehicle. I don't think, well, if I can just get the door shut, I'm good, you know, to get up this hill. Well, the seat was kind of leaned back too. So once we head up, I felt like I was taking off in an airplane. That damn bumpy. And I was jerked around. Anyways, needless to say, I was sore from taking that little ride up that bumpy, rutted out drive. Lean back.
You were sore after riding with Dawn, huh?
I was. That was a bumpy. That was a bumpy ride. It was a bumpy ride. So anyways, we got up there, and I actually thought, well, they were outside. So my thing was, the setup was different than what I thought. So I thought the front of the house sat like more towards the driveway. I thought the house set towards Beach Creek, the front of it, but it doesn't. The house doesn't set towards Beach Creek Road. The house actually faces like the last part of the drive going up. So it sets, you know, facing the woods, the front of it. So that was a little bit different than what I expected. The layout was a little bit different than how I had seen it. Pictures of it on YouTube.
Did you realize that Dawn was going to be coming and picking you up?
No, when I seen the vehicle coming down, I actually thought it was Candace and the other lady that I was with coming down to the bottom of the hill to talk. That's what I thought. I was pulling my car over kind of to the side and was bent down when the other lady said, Dawn's here to get us, or it's Dawn. And I jerked my head around because I was just in shock, and I was like, introduced myself, I was like, oh, hey, Dawn, this is it. Nice to meet you. And he's like, y'all get in and, we'll go up and visit. And I was like, well, here I go. Wasn't expecting it. Was kind of caught off guard. And that's so okay.
Had you planned for hanging out with them and all that, or did you just think like they were going to go up there and talk for a minute and come back?
Yes, I thought that the most I thought was going to happen was they were going to go up because they had no service on their phone. And this is somebody that talks to Candace. So when she couldn't let her know we were there, she walked on up, and I really expected just her and Candace to come back down and talk down there at this bench, in this area right here. So I was told that Dawn was at work. I thought, and and it was late afternoon, so I guess he was getting off or he had got off. So I had no intention ever whatsoever to go to the Wells house. That was never a thought in my mind that might would happen. Not for me. I knew that some of the others might want to go up there and stuff, but I was not one of them,
Right.
Because I would not, I really didn't know what I would say to them. And once we got up there, they were very, very friendly, very nice. We sat out front, which was where they were at. It was Candace was sitting at the front door, and another person was sitting at a little table, and I thought they had company. That Dawn said, Grandma's here, and I looked, and it was Grandma, but she had cut her hair really short. So I was like, oh, wow, okay, well, hey, you got your hair cut. I didn't recognize you,
So Grandis was in the house also.
She was there. She had came in for the visual. So she was there. So I didn't know Grandma was even anywhere. So So I met all three.
Suzette, I'm glad you made it out of this.
I was and I wasn't scared. But I was taken back enough that I wasn't touching my phone. Like I wasn't gonna be, oh, let me get a picture of all this, and I want to get a picture of this, and I want to get a picture of that. And I wasn't going there because I did not know how that would. I wasn't trying to piss nobody off up there on the hill, and I'm in the middle of the damn there.
Yeah.
So what? We wwere there for maybe 30 minutes. It wasn't very long. And of course, I'm like, we got to go. Because my poor husband, bless his heart, he was such a good champ about everything, which he knew that he was basically just taking me up there and was going to be staying in the motel room a lot while me and the girls did our thing, And of course, we had one girl. One of them lives there. She lives in Newport, and the other one, she came in on bus, and then another one, she came from across the pond. So I was basically the only one that had a vehicle,
Right. So, got it.
I was making sure we all got rotated. Stuff like that.
So this was on Summer's Day on the 15th or
This
no?
was no. This was on the 14th.
The 14th.
Yes.
Okay. The day
This was
before.
after the day before. My plan for the 15th, before we decided to do the flyer event, I never was gonna go up there till the 15th. But when Miss Chewy said she was doing the flyer event,
Get closer to the phone. We can't hear you.
I know I dropped the earphone and I can't find it. Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let me just turn all this off. Alright, let's see. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah, I just had to take my earphones off because I dropped one and I can't go digging for it while I'm trying to do this live.
I can hear you good
It'll just
now.
have to be found after a while. So no, I had no intentions of ever think. Well, now I did know that this would have been the first year that the whales were going to be at the vigil. So I knew that I would probably meet or see them Saturday.
You didn't think
But
you'd be
yes,
hanging out,
never,
right?
never, never
Well,
thought that.
let me ask questions. What did the house look like compared now?
Okay.
As how did it
I
look?
never went in. I never went inside the house. The outside of the home. Hold on, John. Let me try to get. I can't now. I can't hardly hear you. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I tell you, I think a lot of people have been too scared to get in there with Dawn. If he'd come down, they'd be like, "I'm good. Tell her we'll be here. I'll wait here. I like the bench." Have we lost Suzette? I don't hear nothing now. We'll give her a minute. But that's wild. I don't think she had planned for all that, and I'm sure to be sitting down there and Dawn wheels up. It's like, get in, going up to the crib, come to pick you up. You made it in. I tell you, I think I seen somebody in chat say it earlier, but that is, it's just wild. It's wild story. And if Suzette wasn't the one telling it, I don't know if I'd buy it from a lot of people. Though she hasn't said anything outrageous, so I mean, it's not like it's a wild story, but still, it's odd. You'd be down at the bench and then they pick you up. There's a picture of it, I guess, right when it was finished, because it ain't even have the flowers or nothing in it at that point. That's where she was at. Where's the picture? Oh, never mind. The original.
Okay,
There's
can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
I know I can't hardly hear you, but I'm not gonna mess with these earbuds. Lord of mercy. So yeah, so we went up there. I did not go in the house. I will say the yard looked good. There was not a lot of they've cleaned it up now. All of the stuff is either all of the stuff, I guess, that was in the yard, all the junk and the piles of junk, it's all all on the edge of the property now in the woodline areas, and the yard itself was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But no, I did not go in the house. They were outside that front door, and that's where I stayed.
Well, now, what were you doing? Just standing around, or what? Because there was a few people there, right?
Just there was 5 people there. There was the Dawn, Candace, Grandis, me, and 2 others. Yes. So there was six of us. My bad.
So was Grandis living there, do you think, or do you think she was visiting? Do you
No,
know?
she was visiting. She came in for the vigil. There's, Grandis's camper. That's gone. Like where they used to sit, that there's not anything there. I think that's where Don might have parked his vehicle. But where Grandis's camper was at, I will say that no, if they were at Grandis's camper changing a knee brace or doing whatever, they're not going to see anything that happened from that basement door. You cannot see it.
Okay. Yeah, we all knew that, Suzette. I've known that since 2 years ago.
Well, when you're there and you see it for yourself, smarty britches. Because, like I said, the setup was different than what I had pictured in my mind. Even seeing the pictures online, the setup of the area, it was a little bit different. And her swing is right outside that front door, hanging in that tree.
Mm-hmm.
And when she would, when she'd swing on that swing, yes, it's just really steep. Like if she'd have fell off her swing, she would have took a good little tumble down that little hill. Now it's real grassy. Would she have done more than maybe either got banged up a little bit or broke an arm? That's probably, I don't think she would have got seriously hurt, unless she just would have hit her head on something. But if she had just fell off that swing and landed on that little grass, and rolled, she'd have probably been okay.
So was everybody friendly? Dawn, Candace, Grandis, all of them talked to you?
Absolutely. Grandma was, me and Grandma was just kind of paired up talking a little bit, and we wasn't really talking about Summer a whole lot. We talked about how Grandma drink and smoke and all that, and she's like, I don't either. And I said, now I hit a casino, and she said, oh, me too. So we just bullshit, and me and Grandma just kind of bullshit, Now Don did want to get on this little religious kick. I actually have a book that Don gave me. I don't even know what it was about.
He was preaching to you.
A little bit, not much. He didn't. He did a little bit, but not much. But this is when it was time for me to go.
He give you paperwork. He give you a book on, was it the SDA?
I don't know. It was to do with that, and it's written by somebody that can explain, I guess.
You're breaking up bad. You sound like a robot.
Yeah, but don't give me that book, but I'm not superstitious.
Suzette, you're breaking up horribly. You sound like a robot on my end.
Can you hear me now?
I think it's a Wi-Fi thing, not a hearing thing.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Are you close to the Wi-Fi?
How about now?
Yeah, you sound fine now.
Yeah, and I turned my Wi-Fi on, took it off my data.
Thank you.
I had to leave. I'm not going to go down. I was talking to Grandma, and I start hearing about CPS kidnapping Summer.
No.
How they could have been in camouflage up in those hills. And it was my exit. That was my exit.
Grandis was saying that to you?
No. that's what caught my attention away from her when I heard Dawn talking
okay.
to. When that come across my ears, I was ready to wrap it up.
Who was Dawn telling that to? Somebody that was with you?
Yes.
Said they were in camouflage. No, he did not.
He said they could have been up here in camouflage watching. I'm not going to listen to that. That's, that's
See,
wild.
Think about this. If you're Dawn, okay, how are you going to think that's more likely than Candace did something? That makes no sense. People in camouflage up there from CPS.
Exactly.
Was Dawn drinking?
No, Dawn was not drinking, and I did not see Dawn drinking or doing any drugs.
Who was doing drugs?
Nobody was doing drugs. That's what I'm saying. I think no, nobody was doing drugs.
Anybody drinking?
Might have seen somebody take a little sip of some alcohol.
Okay.
Wasn't none of us. I didn't take a bottle with me.
And it wasn't Dawn.
And it wasn't Grandma. Grandma don't drink.
Okay.
And I didn't take no bottle of alcohol with me.
I can't believe you up there getting drunk with Candace on. That's so.
I'd have fell off side of that mountain probably if I'd got to drinking. There's some steep hills up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pure. Honestly, right there, where that camper was, where that camper sat, that's just a pure drop off right there in the back. Right there, that's a drop off.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen yeah. I know it's different being there though, I'm sure.
It is.
Tell me about this. How far is it away? How are we in the boonies? Are we in the boonies?
When you turn off Beach Creek onto Ben Hill.
Suzette, I didn't ask none of that. I wanted to know, in your opinion, would you call where they're at in the boonies?
Yes. Yes.
It's pretty deep, ain't it?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're in a holler and you're very secluded at the top of where Dawn and Candace live. It's very secluded up there because it's on top of that hill, on the side of the mountain.
Can you see Beach Creek from his place?
Absolutely not.
I bet you can when the trees aren't in bloom.
I don't know.
Because looking on the map, you'd almost have to with it being up high.
I don't know if you could see it. You might could see it if you walk to the edge of the property, but I don't think you could see it from the house. If you walked like maybe even with where the driveway ends at the top and look down, you could probably see it. I don't think you can see it from the house, even if there was nothing.
You said
even if there was,
right?
Yeah, because the house is all the way back to the back of that. When you get to the hill, the house is to the back. When you get to the top, so over where the bus was parked. Yeah, if you're standing right there where that bus is and look down, you might see Beach Creek, but I don't believe, even if there wasn't nothing there, I don't think you could see at the bottom from the house.
Okay. What after being there, what is something that's weird you wouldn't know had you not been there? What caught you by surprise? How far out it is?
I think the main thing that probably not really caught me by surprise, just it's a little bit different than what you see even on Google Earth or even on pictures of it. Once you actually get up there and see it for yourself, just the layout was a little that kind of surprised me that it was set up a little bit different than what I thought.
Was there any pets? See any pets?
They have 2 dogs, and guess what happened when I pulled up to the bench?
What?
The dogs were barking. Only 2. Now, how many was there the day she went missing that didn't make a sound?
15.
Okay.
No, 10 plus. 10 plus. I won't say it wasn't 15. That's funny.
Okay.
You pulled up to the bench and the dogs were barking, right?
Yes. That's the first thing I heard when I got out was those dogs barking.
That's wild. I wonder. I know you was talking to Grandis and you didn't hear, but I wonder what triggered Don to have him start ranting about CPS and all that. Or you reckon that's just what he talks about now, 24/7?
Now something might have been said that they might have been talking about something, prior, talking about the case or something. I wasn't bringing shit up. Like,
right.
I was trying to get off the hill. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to get gone. I wanted to be sure I made it back down.
Right.
So I just thought my safest bet would be just sit here and talk to Grandma. She's chilling and just talking, and we're talking about other stuff. And now Candace walked inside and she handed us all, Summer bracelets and a keychain with Summer's picture, the progression picture on it. And we did talk about the progression picture because, of course, none of us really liked the progression picture. And Candace said nobody likes that picture. And Grandma said, I guess since she went through it with Rose, she said that's how those progression pictures work. They just, they're kind of not what you would think, the progression pictures.
They're not big fans of it either, or what?
No, I don't think they are, no.
Yeah. Man, that's that. How did Grandis seem? Healthy?
Grandis was fine.
Yeah.
Grandis seemed fine. Now, she had lost some weight.
Does she look like somebody that's had 2 strokes, according to Don B?
Now, she don't look like she was talking fine. I see no drawl to her face or anything like that. She just looked smaller than what she had in the past. That's the only thing that looked different to me. And her hair was really short.
Well, Grandis keeps it tight. Yeah.
And I don't think she's staying. I mean, I think she come in for the vigil and then she said, and I'm disappearing again. Like, Grandma ain't getting in the spotlight. Grandma ain't having, she just, and I said, that's probably best, I mean, because the more you say, the more it gets twisted, because everything that you say will get, they will analyze it to death.
That's cool that Grandis was friendly though. That she talked to you.
Oh yeah. Me and Grandma tight.
You never asked her shit though. You never brought up nothing the whole time you was there.
The only thing I said is when I was looking at that swing, and I talked about, because in my opinion, I believe that was a flash that I seen, and they talked about that. And oh, you know what? That might have been what brought the CPS, because Don said that Hawkins County was like, oh, wasn't nothing to that, and it might even been TBI that said it. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what he said. And I said, I don't know. I said, I believe that there was a flash, but I'm not. My theory's not CPS in camouflage taking pictures. That's not. Then that might have been what started that. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if there's a flash, there's a certain man that has inserted himself into the case that loves to take pictures. That's where my mind goes when I think of a flash.
Did you see him during your
Sure
trip?
did. Went to the vigil, walked up to say hey to Don. There was a man standing beside him with a hat on, a straw hat on. I swung around and his hand was out and he said, hi, I'm Tim Mullins. And before I knew it, I was shaking Tim Mullins' hand and I looked him in the face and I thought, oh my God.
You've got Tim Mullen cooties now.
I absolutely do have Tim Mullins cooties.
That's so funny. You didn't realize it was him till it was too late, huh?
I did not. I mean, we came up and they had, he had his back and I could see Dawn, and one of the girls that didn't go the day before, I said, well, I'm going to go over here and say hey to Dawn. And that was actually the first two that I came upon. And I go up and I'm just facing Dawn and I'm like, hey, Dawn. And so the man's just kind of to my side at this point, and I turn around with his hand out and he said, I'm Tim Mullins. And when it just took me a minute. When I looked him dead in the face, I was like, holy shit.
It is Tim Mullen.
Yeah. Now, Grandis and Grandma do not like Tim Mullins.
Really?
Which we knew that, but I can confirm that 100%.
I didn't know that 100%.
I can confirm that 100%. They do not like Tim Mullins, and I mean there was a lake there, and I offered my services to there's a lake here if you need it handled. I mean but yeah. I would have done the pleasure of pushing him in the lake for him or something.
You ran into it. You had the most amazing experience ever. I don't think anybody's ever seen all them people like that at one time. You seen everybody involved. Did you see JSB during the trip?
No, but I did hear that JSB was going to be having somebody out there taking all the nameplates of all the creators and have them all investigated to see if any of us might have, well, I'm not a creator, but, I was with the creator, burnt the horse barn down as we were coming into town, I guess.
Wow. Wasn't me, JSB. Yeah. I went there.
Hope you got a good picture of my license plate, JSB. Get it, girl, get it.
Who all did you fangirl while you was there? Anybody at the vigil?
I sat at the table with Grandma and Candace. You want to see me? At the vigil. That's where I sat because
What did you have? A weekend pass as super fan or some shit? How do you keep ending up with Grandis and Candace?
well, now when I got there, I said hey to Trevor Lee. I said hey to a few people, just Ryan Fines and his wife ended up showing up into it.
Who did?
Ryan Fines and his wife.
They were there?
Yes.
And what happened?
I just introduced myself to them,
Uh-huh.
Just met him and his wife.
Thoughts?
So what I did is when I seen Grandma, I was like, well, there's my buddy, there's Grandma. So I brought my chairs. I had a chair and At Right had her chair. I had two chairs because I'm not sitting on hard benches. I'm fat. I'm old. I know to go prepared to events. So I took my chair and I just opened it up and plopped down right there with Grandma and at that table. And At Right got beside me in the other chair, and then Candace came and she sat down opposite side of Grandma. So it was Candace, At Right, me, Grandma, and there was a
You
few
were
other
in
people.
a Candace sandwich.
Yes, I was.
Holy cow!
And that table was no cameras allowed. As far as news cameras, no pictures, no video, no live streaming. That was the off limit table for any kind of camera or photos.
So you have 0 photographs with you with Grandis, Candace, or anybody.
All I have is my word.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, Don is the camera whore, him and Tim Mullins. They actually walked down past that one pavilion to another little shaded area to do their interviews. And of course, that's when, you could tell the disdain that Grandma and Candace have for Tim Mullins. And I told them, there's a lake. I can take care of that, for you. But anyways, we just made kind of a ha-ha about that for a minute. I will talk about this picture that was put out by Tim Mullins. And I will say that did not come from Candace and that did not come from Grandma. If that picture is out there, it is because Don Wells gave that picture to Tim Mullins.
Okay. Has Candace seen that picture before?
Candace has the picture that you see on Facebook is the AI. Candace has the original picture, and I saw that.
I've been thinking that for a minute. Because the most recent one is the one you're talking about, right?
Yes.
After I looked at that, I was like, I don't know. They don't look like they've aged to me. They should be 3 years older now, right? There should be.
And they do. I'm not sure if that's an updated picture, but I do know that I don't really want to say that because I don't want to talk about the boys. I don't think that's fair to talk about the boys.
I don't know what format you mean.
Huh? Well,
it's not fair to show. That's what's not fair. And
I will say this. Okay, well, I'll just say this. The oldest one was put in the picture, cropped into that picture with the two youngest ones. Like the picture of the oldest one, he is not with the other two.
Right. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So that was two separate pictures.
That's wild.
Together.
Would so what did Candace say? Did they say about if they're still in contact with the boys?
I did not ask that.
You never picked up on if they have any. You never.
No, I never picked up on that. They never said the speech that Nana for Life, you know, there was a vigil going on and people were speaking. It was very emotional for me because I was honored to be there for Summer. And as bad as this sounds, Candace, Grandma, and Don and those boys are the people that Summer knew and loved. So me being there with them, to me, kind of honored Summer for the people she loved.
Yes.
Because that's what she knew.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild you got to experience all that and get a real feel. I'm sure it probably gives you a better feel for who Summer was too, right?
Absolutely. I think the little girl was probably a happy little girl. She probably loved being on that hill, she loved her family. That was her family,
Mm-hmm.
As to what happened to Summer, I'm no closer to any answers. I went to honor her. I went to, I had no intentions of, I never in a million years dreamed that I would be, even at the Wells's home.
Right.
So to go up there and see where she lived and stuff. Now I know things are in way better condition than they were when she was alive or when she was still I shouldn't have said it like that. That's my opinion, guys. When she was there.
Went missing.
Yes.
She went missing.
Before she went missing. That's what she knew. That's all she knew. That's who she loved.
Yeah.
That
was her family,
That was her family. So for me to go, I think it would have been a disservice for me to go to her home that she knew and act like I didn't have any sense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think you handled the situation perfectly. You were there for Summer. You weren't there for drama.
Exactly.
That's why, if anybody had told me your story, I would have probably thought they were bullshitting, but I know you and I know you're a good person and that's why you went there. And everybody else would have had a shitload of pictures and videos and all this shit, and they'd be clickbaiting it to death and saying everything that they've seen, heard, thought, anything. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's stuff you aren't going to share, and I respect that too, because I think it's admirable, right?
Absolutely. How I felt about it going up, I knew I was there to honor her. I know that that's all she knew. That's who she loved. That was her family. If nothing else, you respect that when you're at her home. That's why you don't add and subtract to the story. For all these people out there, this is a message for you. Shame on you for the ones that have done that. Shame on you if you went up there and pretended to be their friends just to come back and say horrible stuff or to lie. There has been so many lies. Listen, the whales tell lies themselves. Nobody else had to add any more lies to it. It has confused the case. It has thrown this case into a tailspin because you've had so many people to go up there and do the most god-awful stuff, say the most god-awful stuff, and act in such a god-awful way that I don't know how they hold their heads up. It's a disrespect to those children to act like that. If you can't contain yourself because you have disgust for the whales, contain yourself because that's the only parents those children ever knew, and that's what they knew, that's what they loved.
Yeah. I'm surprised though. I really am surprised how you explain what you said about Grandis. I always kind of pictured her as not very friendly and standoffish.
And she might have been if I was a YouTuber, and she might have been if I was a known name. I'm sure if she would have heard any of the creators that have dragged them through the mud or used their child or her grandchild's name as clickbait and made thousands of dollars off of her, absolutely she's not going to talk to me. Absolutely they're going to be standoffish. But what you see is what you get with me. And that's what I told them. What you see is what you get.
No, I'm just surprised at Grandis is all I was saying.
Yeah.
She like on the news, just her how she spoke about the police wants to contact her, they know how to find her and all that. She seemed cold and mean to me. I wouldn't have thought she would have been super friendly,
Well, that's because
and I mean, at the end of the day, they don't, Don says it's been over a year since he heard from the police. They're not doing a great job at finding their daughter and getting to the bottom of it.
They're absolutely not. These people are not good people. These people are liars. These people are they're not good people. They're not good parents. But I didn't go up there to call all that out. I went up there to honor their daughter.
I know we've been there. You did it for the right reason,
And
I still can't believe you voluntarily got in a truck with Don Wells because he snapped his fingers, though. That blows my damn mind. It's lucky you made it out. Hey, just get in this car, stranger. Oh, okay. Sounds like a great. Don Wells? Yeah, I've heard all that shit about you and all the stuff you've done wrong. Let me hop right on in.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I did.
Did you go up there two together or one at a time?
No, we one was already up there. There was 3 of us at that time. One walked up there.
Were you alone in the truck with Dawn at any time?
No, I was not.
Okay. Okay.
No, I was not alone with Don at any time.
In the truck, there was 2 people and Dawn in the truck?
Yes. As a matter of fact, the lady from England, bless her heart, when she went to get in the truck, she almost sat in his lap because she went to the wrong side to get in. And I said, we're not in England, ma'am. You got to come over to this side to get in the vehicle.
Do I know who that is? Who's the...
No, you wouldn't know. She's a mod for a creator, and she came from the UK over for Summer's Day.
Well, that's awesome. She was part of the group you were in.
Yes, very sweet lady. Very sweet lady.
So the event was pretty nice in itself. Tons of people that, or the vigil. What was the biggest thing? The vigil?
Yeah, the biggest thing was I don't know. I think probably the biggest thing for me was actually going to the whales. That was probably the biggest thing for me because I was not expecting that. Now at the vigil, I didn't stay for the whole vigil. It was 104 degrees outside.
I'm talking about what event had the most people in attendance?
The vigil.
The
yes.
vigil. Who all did you see?
Miss Chewy's event didn't have that many people there.
Mm-hmm.
The event that Miss Chewy done in Rogersville, that really didn't have a lot of people there, but it was a good thing that she was doing with the flyers and stuff. And but yes, the vigil had the most in attendance, and I was told actually that had dwindled down. And I feel like this about it, it will probably keep dwindling down until it's a cold case.
I wish you'd answer the questions I ask you.
I'm sorry I didn't hear you. Ask me again. I'm having a hard time hearing.
I want to know stuff, and you won't tell me nothing. Who all did you see there? Name who all you seen that I would know who you're talking about.
Jinkies, rumors has it.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me start over. I want you to name who you saw, and if you got any impersonation of them or any feeling for them at all, you can add that in too. That'd be nice. Who all did you see? Huh? Start over. Jinkies, right?
Yeah. Okay. The first person I saw when I first walked up, Don and Tim Mullins. That's
okay.
The first two.
After shaking hands with him, what's the vibe you get from him? Creed?
I didn't get a vibe. Only what shot through my head was, holy shit. That's what I didn't get a vibe. I got a holy shit. I just shook Tim Mullins' hands, and he's damn creepy. I already know that he's a creepy ass little feller.
Is that all it was? Shake and move on?
Yep, shook his hand. Nice to meet you. Moving right along.
You seen Jinkies? What Jinkies have to say? Did you say hi to her?
Yeah, I spoke.
What'd she say?
Just hi.
She wasn't real friendly?
She wasn't not friendly. I guess she just don't know me, No, she mainly spoke with Grandma and Candace because she knows them, So I seen a lot of Jinkies at the table there, but it was just because of who I was sitting with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Chewy stayed at the very front. I never seen Miss Chewy come back to the back back there where we were at.
You was with her, right? Or
No,
Oh, I thought she was a member of your group. No?
no, that was not a
Oh,
member of my group.
okay. Had you met her before? Do you know her?
I had only met Miss Chewy the day before at the Flyers event. I
Oh,
met
okay.
her, Jinkies, Whistle While You Lurk, and
Oh,
Chillbilly.
yeah. And Chill, I'm not deep into who all those. Chillbilly's Jinky's boyfriend, ain't that how that works, or no?
Yes.
See, I
And
don't know.
his little girl was with him.
What'd you think about all them? You met a lot of Team Wells, apparently, is what it seems like, right? Because all of them are pro Wells people.
Exactly.
Everybody you named pretty much is pro Well.
And that was well, except for Trevor Lee. And he kind of had Trev was there.
Trev was in chat just a second ago. What'd you think of Trev?
I just walked by Trev and said, "Hey, Trevor Lee," and walked on. I didn't introduce myself. I feel bad about that.
What you going to kiss Jinky's butt to talk to you, but won't say hi to Trev? What's up with that?
I ain't kissed Jinky's butt for her to be talking to me. She just came up to a table I was sitting at. I was trying to find I was honestly, when I passed through the very front, I wanted to just get my chair set up and get where I was going to get. I seen Grandma. Right. I said, "This looks like a good spot over here beside Grandma." I set my chair up, and then I got up and went to all the tables that they had set up and took pictures that you have of all of the tables that were set up. Hell, I was scared to pull my camera out too much and even take pictures of that, the way they was acting about. Well, she did say you could take pictures of stuff, up until the event started, and then she didn't want any, pictures taken while the event was going on. And I'm not real good with, like, I'm not the type of person that hides my phone and knows how to, like, sneak pictures and stuff. I couldn't have pulled that off.
Who told you couldn't take pictures?
Nana for Life, that put the event together, was pretty adamant about there would be no live streaming and no photos, other than if you're going to take photos of like the tables or of your little group or whatever. Like, the table that Grandma and Candace was sitting at, don't be taking pictures, don't be putting cameras in their faces, none of that. That table was a no photo, no news camera, off limits table.
Now, which event? Now, this is which event?
That was the vigil.
You couldn't take pictures of stuff of people at the vigil?
You could take pictures of people. You couldn't take pictures of nobody sitting at that table.
Right.
That table was designed to have no news cameras at it, no live streams, which nobody was live streaming, and no photos.
Right.
In other words, Candace and Grandma, they ain't getting in front of no cameras.
Right.
They don't want no pictures taken. They ain't getting in front of no cameras. They damn sure ain't gonna do nothing to do with the live stream. None of that.
See, that's weird.
And they were very protective of them about that.
I noticed you haven't mentioned Daisy. Did Daisy not attend none of this?
Did not see Daisy. No, Daisy was not there.
Really? Interesting.
Creators that were there: Dippy's Escapes, Trevor Lee, Ryan Fines, Jinkies Rumor Has It, Miss Chewy, Sharon is Karen, Gavel Geeks, Whistle While You Lurk, Chroma Mama, and Nana for Life. And I guess if you want to consider Tim Mullins and Don and Candace as YouTubers, then you can throw them in there.
Think about that. There were YouTubers that refused to get their pictures taken. Candace.
Well, there you go.
That's like because a rip in time, a person sitting at a table that won't let there be a camera on them that's also a YouTuber. Think about that. That's like a unicorn event, ain't it?
It's very odd to me, very distasteful to me that a mother can be at an event for a missing child and show no emotion. It's kind of telling.
Well, and see, that's why this is something, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, that I've always had kind of a bone to pick with the Summer's Day. The thought behind it is, to me, ask me what the most horrible day of my life is, and the answer is going to be, if I have a missing child, the day that child disappeared. Am I really going to want to be around anybody on the anniversary of that? I don't know. I think I would be celebrating birthdays and trying to stay away from everybody on that day, because I think that day would be horrible for me. I've thought about that.
Well,
no.
This is the first vigil that they've been to.
I think I would rather do it on any other day than the date my kid disappeared,
And that might be why you
day.
haven't seen them.
I don't know.
I don't know. If you're talking about my missing kid, I'm going to get emotional no matter what day it is. It ain't got to be the day they went missing. It can be today, tomorrow, the minute, the second. If I'm thinking about my missing kid, I'm emotional.
So did she not speak at the vigil at all?
Oh, hell no.
See, that to me, man, you would think, if I don't get that, if I wasn't going to speak, I don't think I would go. I would feel, it's your child. I would feel like like I had to, like it was my job to speak. I have to speak, right? It's my child.
Now, that's okay, because Don speaks enough for both of them. He's the camera whore. Don's over there with the camera crew. Him and Tim Mullins, they're over there with the camera crew. He's the camera whore.
Who was the camera crew?
It was just, I think, actually one person out there with, doing the interview. And if you've watched it, it's just, they were over there a long time for it just to have been the small clip of Don talking, the two little small clips. I was thinking, damn, they was over there that long and that's all they got out of that.
So you think Don's filming a documentary or something?
I don't know.
I
don't know. Oh, I'm sure if Tim's got anything to do with it, he's probably got some big production planned.
Well, didn't you say Tim was with him when this happened?
Oh
Well, then I bet they're putting something together. They're filming it for something, right?
I only seen them. I was there a couple of hours, and I only seen Tim and Dawn not together one time. They even went to the bathroom together.
Wow. What? Really?
Well, there was a building where there was a bathroom in it. So you go in a building. So it's not like, no, they didn't go in like a porta-john together. They went into a public restroom together. Yes.
Right. But they were up each other's butt the whole time this is going down?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
And Tim Mullins had like this work belt, like a tool belt around his waist, like this leather tool belt. And he had like all these bottles and cans of water, like 3 or 4.
Belt?
Yeah.
Batman? Like a tactical belt like Batman be wearing sometimes?
No, like a tool belt, like a leather tool belt where it has the pockets down in the side. And he had like 3 cans of water, in each little pocket. As a matter of fact, I think somebody did get a picture of that. I just haven't got it sent to me.
What is that? I don't get it.
There's a couple of pictures that were taken that just haven't been sent to me, too.
That's weird. This is that. It's weird.
Well, Candace and Grandma said that Tim Mullins and Donnie was boyfriends. Like, we just say that's Donnie's boyfriend.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Oh, man. Breaking news here on JDTC. Candace and Grandis think Tim and Dawn date.
Boyfriends.
In love. Just what we've heard. Well, I mean, we have.
They are not big.
But the shit's
and from the impression I got, I don't think Dawn was happy that Grandma was in for the occasion.
Hold on now. You're getting into some twisted ground now if you're insinuating what I think you are. I don't even want to dig through all that. I think it's funny that I wonder how much they're hanging out. Did you get an idea of that? Is this just like at visual time? You think him and Tim are best friends, or did Candace and Grandis give you the idea that this is all the time?
I got the impression that him and Tim's pretty tight. Yeah, this wasn't just a visual thing. No, the visual. I keep saying visual. I'm so crazy. The visual. This is not just at the visual.
Vigil.
Yes, vigil.
So it was. Well, I mean, if they're making jokes about it, I guess it is. Apparently, it's pretty damn often.
Exactly. Well, it's been 3 years, and he was there day one, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I didn't. To me, if they're making the kind of jokes they're making, then they're seeing each other a lot. And what would they be seeing each other over for anymore? Nothing ever comes out, right?
Nothing.
Unless they sit around and probably plot all the time how CPS pulled this off.
Yeah, in the camouflage.
I don't know what they could plot. I don't know how they could still.
Now I'm gonna tell you who Dawn reminds me of. I had a cousin that was an addict his whole life and had that long hair, and just when he talked, we kind of, swing that hair around to talk and stuff, or would keep, fooling with their hair to push it back.
Yeah.
So that's who he reminded me of. He reminded me of a cousin I had that did that. That was an addict.
So you think Don's burnt out? Is that what you're saying?
A little bit. Yeah. That would just be in my opinion. That's in my opinion.
I don't know his exact age, but I know it's got to be damn near 60. I mean, on the doorstep, damn near, right? Gotta be.
Yeah, I think. I think he's close to my age, and I'm 57.
Listen, I quit partying when I was like 29, and it affected my long-term ability. This dude's been doing it since birth. He's 60 years old. And I know he drinks on occasion, I'm sure, still. It has an effect. Maybe
now, I will say, Candace was not drunk. When we were up there, she was not drunk. Now, did I see her take a drink? I did, but she was not drunk.
Well, up until this point, you never even said she drank. So you kind of outed yourself.
I think everybody might have knew that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying she was not intoxicated.
But she was having a beverage.
Well, I think it was that time of day, right? Isn't that it was late afternoon when I was up there.
Okay. Just late.
I mean, wasn't that something that was said in the beginning that she starts around 5 o'clock?
Yep.
Well,
what kind of beverage was it?
Okay, there you go.
What was she drinking? Liquor, beer?
I don't know. I have no idea. It was pretty quick. I just happened to glance and catch. It was, she took a swig of something and then quietly put it back down behind her.
It was in a bottle.
What kind of? It was alcohol, is all I can tell you.
Poor Suzette, you don't know what.
Not familiar with what the bottles look. If I had to guess by looking at the bottle, and it would be a guess, it would be some kind of Canadian mist or something.
Okay. Hey, she's an adult. She can have a drink anytime she wants. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's exactly right. We'll leave it at that.
And you said Dawn wasn't drinking, but Dawn was the one ranting.
Not at all. Don looked like he probably done about all the partying he needed to do in his life, as far as Did
he speak like up front though at the vigil, any?
No. While they were speaking at the vigil, while people were doing, talking, Don was over with the camera crew.
Did any of the family speak at the vigil?
Absolutely not. Now, not while I was there. If they done it after I left, I was not aware.
Right. How long did the vigil go?
They did a butterfly release at 7:03. I probably was gone by 6:15.
Why 7:03?
I think it was supposed to happen at 7, so it probably just probably trying to get everybody their little butterfly. It probably just went over a few minutes.
I thought maybe it was 7:03. It was something ceremonial. There was a purpose for that. Like
no, I don't think it was. I don't think it was that.
Okay. See, Kelly O asked too. Why 7:03?
Yeah, I just think that it just ran over a little bit, probably trying to maybe get everybody, a butterfly thing in their hand, and just, I think it was actually supposed to be at 7.
Oh no, they're saying that's when law enforcement arrived to 110 is when they.
Oh well, then there you go. It was symbolic then. But I don't believe that, because I thought I heard the law was
called at 6:36, so they didn't arrive till 7:03, because the law was not called until 6:36 p.m.
I'm just telling you what they said, Suzette. Don't be jumping all over me. I ain't the one that said it.
I can't see chat, so I don't know what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. They're saying, tell Suzette to calm it down. John's the best host ever. That's what one of them said. The other one said, Suzette's full of it. Suzette's making that shit up. Why y'all letting this woman tell that nonsense? Chat's all, they're not behind you on this one, Suzette. I'm just going to be honest with you. They're not with you, but I know you're telling the truth and you wouldn't say that.
I appreciate you having my back like that, John. I'm glad you think. And now I will say that if is Act Right in? Have y'all seen Ash Chat? Is Act Right in there? Is she in chat?
Who?
Act Right. Act Right people.
Act Right
Ask if she's in chat.
Yeah, right here she is.
John, that's who you need to bring up if you want to hear more on Candace, because she sat right beside her.
She just said, tell Suzette, don't be dragging you into this. You didn't see half of what she's claiming. That's what she said.
Tell Act Right that if John really wants to get his ear full, Act Right should come up. Because Act Right,
she just responded. She can't back up what you're saying.
Oh, I know that's a lie.
That's what she said. She said she can't. She said you made up a lot of that.
Yeah, get her up there on panel, John. She can tell you more. She had more of a conversation with Candace than I did.
Suzette, she won't. Will you come up? Act Right.
Act Right to come up.
Says she don't want to come up.
Act Right did not get to go to the hill to the Wales. Act Right was sitting right beside Candace at the vigil.
Well, that's probably why she said she can't confirm a lot of what you're saying. Maybe it's because she wasn't up there for that then. Maybe that's what she was talking about.
She knows I ain't telling a lie.
She ain't here, honey. I'm sorry. I was just playing with you.
Oh, I wish she was there though. I wish Act Right was in chat, because she was the one sitting directly by Candace. And I know the conversation that she and I had afterwards, but that would just be me repeating what she said, and I would rather not do that because I did not directly hear that.
Well, maybe we'll have her on next time we're on. She can tell us what else she got, what else she heard, experienced.
Yeah, some of the things she heard was really kind of
groundbreaking.
Solidifying.
Yeah.
I think that's the word I'm looking for her.
So did you talk? You didn't talk to Candace much?
Not really. I mean, like I said, I talked to Grandma. She was, the main one that I sat right beside. Like, Act Right was between me and Candace, which, I mean, I talked to Candace, but it was just, things that mainly she was saying. I wasn't like holding on a full-on conversation. Now, they said, see, this is crazy. I told you about them saying that if you get in the middle of that lake, if you jump in the middle of that lake, that you will get electrocuted.
Yeah.
That's why I told her, I might could take care of Tim Mullins for her, he could go in the lake.
I still ain't get what you mean about the lake, about getting shot.
I was confused. I've never heard that in my whole life.
Who said that? Candace told you that?
Yeah.
I think she was messing with you, man. I ain't never heard of no crazy shit like that.
I've never heard of that.
So I'm still kind of confused by what you're actually saying, she actually means. But if you go into the middle of the lake,
if you dive off into the middle of the lake, you will get electrocuted. Well, what about if you fall out your boat or I seen somebody doing that little paddle thing out there. What if you fall off? I just don't see that. I don't get it.
If you dive into the middle of the lake, you'll get electrocuted.
Yes. She said you have to get down past the dock, which was a little bit ways down, before you could actually go in the middle of the lake and not get electrocuted. Now, them's her words, not mine. So, y'all. John, are you laughing? I know you're not laughing. I'm just repeating what was said.
I'm so confused by all that. I don't know if she's trying to say like the middle. No, I don't get that whatsoever.
I was confused too.
I lived here my whole life, never heard that, and grew up in that lake.
See?
What is there signs? Do you see any signs that said warning? Middle lake is electrocuted.
No, I didn't see that. And there was a lot of people out there walking their dog. I mean, there was a lot of people. That was a public park. There's a lot of people out there.
I think she was messing with your ass.
She might have been.
Now for the rest of your life, all because of her, you're always going to question it. If I swim out in the middle of the lake, will I be electrocuted? I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to. I'll put it this way. I won't be trying to find out.
You ain't going to test it.
Some shady shit goes on around that place, apparently. So does anybody in chat have questions for me?
Y'all got any questions for Suzette about her experience? I guess I'll have to read them to you. You can't see them, can you?
No, I can't see anything.
Okay. Suzette, was Dawn even better looking in person? Somebody wants to know if Dawn's better looking in person, Suzette.
No. No. Now, I will say Don's got those big blue eyes. He's got big blue eyes. That is what you see. When you look at Don, you'll see those big blue eyes.
Yeah. Wicked West Paranormal says, Suzette, did you get Grandis's phone number? It sounds like you could have a good friend.
No, I did not get Grandma's phone number, but I believe if I could have spent about 2 hours with Grandma, I'd have got a pretty good insight to I think I'd have got a better understanding of maybe what happened that day.
You didn't get any of her social media? No way to contact her?
None. I did not ask.
That sucks. That would have been a good idea. Just didn't feel comfortable enough, or what?
There was a lady there with Grandma that was pretty guarded of Grandma. She wasn't going to let Grandma get out of her sight or say too much. I will say that. I did not know the lady.
Did you see or feel any emotion from Dawn, Candace, or Grandis?
None.
None from any of the three the whole time you were around?
Now when you were at their house, they were more somber. Some were acting about it, more
sad,
not emotional, but more their guard wasn't up as much. But at the vigil, no emotion.
Really? Trevor Lee says Candace had emotion.
Trevor said that Candace had emotion.
Yeah.
Was that after I left? Because it wasn't there at the table when I was there.
Maybe it might have been. Yeah, and other people are agreeing. Dopey's even piling in. Yes, Trevor, she did.
Well, Dopey was there. Dopey left when I left, and I did not see any emotion out of Candace when I was sitting there.
Well, I mean,
now Dopey has
she did at the butterfly release, said whistle while you lurk.
See, I wasn't there for that.
See, I don't think that means anything one way or another, to be honest. You could be crying for a myriad of reasons. You could be crying because your kid's gone. You could be crying because you did something to your kid,
Yes, exactly.
You feel guilty. You have guilt. If you had done something to your kid, that would be a time you probably would be emotional, would be on the anniversary of the day you did it, or around the time, I don't know.
Or total opposite. Yes, or total opposite. You're emotional because your child's missing.
Yeah. Did Grandis ever? I don't guess Rose ever got brought up, did she?
Rose, actually, yeah. I mean, there was a ribbon there for Rose. Grandma. She didn't talk a lot about Rose, but yes, Rose was brought up as in remembrance and stuff with Grandma. Yes. As a matter of fact, Grandma was very adamant that, make sure you put your yellow ribbon on too, for Rose.
I wonder what Grandma's theory is on Rose.
Now, Grandma told me with the Rose case that she's done everything investigators have ever asked her to do. She followed investigators' advice. With Rose's case, she strictly, she was apparently seemed like she was very involved and very close in relations with the investigation that was going on.
Somebody wants to know if you've seen any donation jars around the places you were at.
No, I didn't. None that I saw. And no, I did not.
Rose hasn't been found, right? Correct. What year was Rose? 09? I want to say 09. Is that right, or is that not right?
I think 09 was right. It was 07 or 09, but I think 09.
Poor Grandis. Think about it. If Grandis don't know nothing about either one of them, think about how horrible it would be to be that woman.
And I told her that, I said, I'm very sorry for, it's been like a double whammy for you, and how horrible, how bad.
This woman lost her granddaughter and her daughter. If she had nothing to do with that, that has to be about the worst thing any woman could ever go through. Don't
Absolutely.
it? I kind of have a little bit of compassion for the woman because we don't know she did anything. To be honest, we don't.
I kind of like Grandma.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, I find it hard to believe if there is something going on, she was that close to the situation and didn't know anything. You know?
Like I said, I feel bad for Grandma, and I liked Grandma.
But to lose as much as she's lost and not have no answers, I don't know how mentally you could survive that. Your mind always going, where's blah blah, where's blah blah. You got two extremely close people you've lost in separate incidents. Ain't that a mind blow?
Different states.
Separate incidents in different states in 10 plus years apart.
Yes. If I was Grandma, she has to be a strong lady. I tell you that.
I'd be playing lottery because shit's got to change for her somehow. That kind of luck.
Now, I will say this about Candace. I think Candace is a very passive person. She with Dawn, it's kind of, she just takes Dawn's lead on stuff. So Candace, a lot of things that Dawn has probably said and done, I don't think Candace would have went along with a lot of that just on her own. She would not have done that.
For example.
Do what?
Like, for example.
Oh, well, there'd definitely be none of the Tim Mullins stuff going on. The Tim Mullins, none of that. I mean, her and Grandma would have done shit canned him a long time ago.
Yeah.
Tim Mullins would not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Mullins wouldn't have any part of that if it was up to them. And I don't blame him. He hasn't done them any favors.
I don't get is Tim Mullins the one you think that's really feeding into Dawn about the CPS, or what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, if I was a media manager, I'd shut that shit down. Like, I would be telling Dawn, hey, we don't need to go there. We don't need to, if you want to talk about that or think that, let's me and you, talk about it. Don't blast that all over the place, that CPS has kidnapped your kids. He's a horrible media manager, or he just can't control his boyfriend over there. Can't control Dawn.
But see, I think Tim believes that, though. He says the same shit. It's not like just Dawn saying it. He says it
like
too.
I said, then he's a horrible media manager if he goes along with that. I mean, you can't have two people thinking, unless they must be two peas in a pod. That's what I meant to say, because, I mean, what two damn brain cells you got to spark together to come up with that conclusion?
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. I think Dawn's sober. I will say that about Dawn, because I have not seen Dawn on YouTube in a long time, cussing, ranting, and raising hell. I really think Dawn's sober. And I think Dawn's going to church regular. I really think I would have to say that about Dawn right now.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's a great thing for Dawn going to church. I think he's getting into some fanatical SDA stuff. What did he try to give you when you left? a book, you said? What was it?
Yeah, I think it's still in the car too. Like I don't even think I've John, when I say I've had a long weekend, I don't even know if I've got all my crap out of my car yet. I don't even know if I got that book in here. I know I took a picture of it, but I'm sure I didn't send you that picture of that.
Was it one of the little
actually,
pamphlets that the people pass out at the airport?
no, these were actually, one of them was a book that a lady had wrote that now I don't know what it's about. He just said that it was some really good inspirational stuff for him, and I'm like this, if he's keeping him sober, I think the radical thinking's just from he's just shot out from all the other stuff that he's probably, from the alcohol and the drug abuse in the past.
No.
But I really think right now Don's sober. I do think that.
Well, maybe he'll come to maybe one day he'll wake up and be like, you know what? Candace's story sucks. You think?
I believe right now that maybe Don, and this is just my opinion, Don has to believe in something to get him through his sobriety and his kids being gone.
Right. Maybe.
Because sobriety is very hard for someone with a lifelong addiction.
Yeah.
And we all know that they both have had lifelong addictions. And if he is sober and this church is helping him stay sober, but his mind's just going in different places, that could just be from he just ain't made a full circle yet into his sobriety.
I don't know. I think if he believes the bullshit about the CPS and all that, then I think there's something wrong with him. If he honestly believes it, I think there's some kind of mental health that probably needs some treatment.
But that's very possible, very possible. And I say that for both of them. I believe there's probably mental health for both of them. And usually when people become addicts and use substitutes, there's usually a mental illness that's behind it that kind of sets that off anyways, that sets you on a path to addiction. There's something mentally there anyways, that you think this will fix it.
Hello. I think we lost Suzette. She's froze or something. Am I froze? No, I'm good, right?
I don't know if that was my internet or your internet that cut out, but yes, I believe that they might have both have mental illnesses. Yes, I believe that.
Yeah.
And without proper medication for mental illnesses, you will turn to drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, self-medicate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'll tell you, and I'm not trying to get on a soapbox about the conditions. It just goes back to how bad our country's in trouble with helping people with mental illnesses. We're in trouble. This country's in trouble with it.
Yeah.
There's not enough help for it. There's not enough resources, and the medicine is outrageous. If you are not on some kind of insurance or Medicaid for that medicine, you will not get it.
Amen. I know what that's like.
Yes, it's terrible to have an untreated mental illness that you're self-medicating because you can't afford the medicine for it.
I know what it's like to have to pay for medicine.
Isn't it outrageous what they want to charge you for? I know a prescription of antidepressants through some mental illness, just $700 a prescription. What? Get out of here. You know.
Well, I heard a Viagra's as much as a prostitute.
Well, I don't think Viagra helps with your mental illness there, John. I don't think that's a mental illness. That might be another problem people's got going on. I'm not sure if that's included in mental illness.
I'm just relating on the high price of drugs today is all I was doing. It's all relevant.
And yeah, even cancer, like the cancer.
I don't know personally.
Yeah. Okay, John. Sure, John. Hey guys, John knows that for a reason.
I do. I see a lot of stuff, doing research and whatnot. All right, Suzette, I think it's time for me to get off here, man. I've been at this shit for 2 hours and 6 minutes. This is the longest live I have ever done.
Well, it was a long 3 days for your girl here. It was a long weekend. Well, but I got a lot of pictures. I got a feel for the area. I was honored to get to see Summer's home, the children's home. I won't just say Summer, all of their home, where they, grew up. And that was a real honor getting to go celebrate, at the vigil. That was an honor. It was a nice event that they had put together. The ladies worked really hard on it. Can I kill him now, guys? Everybody hit the like button for John. Even though he might not deserve that today, y'all hit that like button for him anyways. Like I said, it was an honor. It was an honor to go and be there for Summer.
Yeah.
Y'all just keep her in your prayers. Keep hope that she is out there somewhere and that she's brought home safe, brought home, and if or brought home for some closure, and that she gets justice if for whoever's responsible for Summer being gone. Let's hope for justice, and let's hope that this case does get solved and it doesn't go cold.
Yeah.
Bye, chat. Bye, John. It's been a pleasure. Sorry I made you go over your 1 hour.
That's okay. You kept it interesting. Thank you for coming up.
No problem. Bye, guys. Hit the like button.
Bye-bye.
Bye, John.
Bye. All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Everybody hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, and all that. And I'll see y'all Wednesday. I don't know. I might change Wednesday to do it later in the day. I don't know. I'm gonna if I do, I'll try to make a post, but be on the lookout. I'll be on sometime Wednesday. It might be I don't know. Thanks everybody for coming. I'll see y'all Wednesday.